Alright, this cover is shiny, look, but I didn't really like it. DC did a month where they had all these shiny covers and most of them weren't executed very well. This is Batgirl 28 and I wanted to cover this run in order, but I've actually jumped an issue because issue 27 is a great issue to talk about something else entirely. But right now, there's a whole mess of more important things to talk about. For starters, this writer, Marge Stotty, she has been writing Batgirl since issue 25, but with issue 37, she is apparently done. And that is a shame, but creative teams change, and nowadays writers and artists just didn't stick with stuff. They start to lose interest or they get promoted to a bigger book, and I don't know what this writer is moving on to, or if she's just done, or if she was kicked off the book or what. But it's a shame because this was DC's best book and Marge Stotty is being replaced with the writer of Feminist Furries, which is a book that has been panned from both sides consistently. It is basically feminist agenda depicting men as rapists, and even the left, they hate it because the women are being raped in the first place. Maybe she will write a good Batgirl, but all the evidence suggests to me that she won't. Batgirl's book will likely revert to type and once again be one of DC's constantly terrible books. And I didn't want to start getting into conspiracy theories, especially since there's virtually nought that warrants this, but there is a small part of us that does wonder if Marge Stotty is being booted off this book because the wrong thing crowd like her. Like Yellow Shower and even Diversity in the comics. They have done positive reviews of her Batgirl comics. But with Batgirl effectively ending, I think now is the perfect time to jump off. To just stop buying DC. This week, DC pulled the final straw for a lot of people with Heroes in Christmas. In that, they had the Flask, the Wally West version, utterly destroyed. Tom Queen eviscerated the whole character, making him into an utter irredeemable psychopath before killing him off. Of course, Tom Queen is playing victim because he's apparently getting death threats. He's getting death threats for like the third or fourth time in the last year or so. Maybe he should fucking learn to stop destroying characters that mean the world to thousands. Death threats are inexcusable, but comics do tend to attract, among others, people with some form of mental health issues. People who are lonely, people who need escapism, people who attach themselves to characters. I'm not saying that all comics readers are mental, but it is a medium that tends to appeal to a lot of people with issues. Like me, for example. Also, Tom Queen, he has not actually shown any evidence of death threats. He has blocked anyone who remotely criticises the story. He has like the world's thinnest skin. And I wouldn't be surprised if what he constitutes as a death threat is just someone saying something like, "You have some nerve." But with Tom Queen, I think it's really worth noting that him and Michael Bryan Benson, they are both terrible writers, but they are not the ones behind these things. It is Dan Diddy Dido. For a decade now, he has wanted Wally West out of comics. Lo and behold, Tom Queen did that. Diddy Dido, he hated Dick Grayson and has been trying to kill him off for years and years just because the character's name is Dick and he is immature like that. So of course, Tom Queen conveniently shot him in the head, gave him amnesia and recreated the entire character, changed the character's name to Rick Grayson. Diddy Dido, he hates superheroes being married, and would you have guessed, both Tom Queen and Michael Bryan Benson, they have gone out of their way to reject and destroy marriages in their respective books. What I'm saying is, Tom Queen is a pretentious little prick who thinks he is writing the next Watching Men, but at the end of the day, he is just Diddy Dido's pretentious little puppet. These things, Heroes in Christmas, they are not Tom Queen's ideas. Tom Queen probably never even thought, I'm going to do a story where Wally West is evil. He probably thought, I'm going to do a pretentious story rejecting the idea of therapy. And Diddy Dido probably said, oh, you can do that, but if you do it, you must destroy Wally West. So I'm done with DC. The same way I have been done with Marvel for years. Their best book, it's buried, it's ending, and they are only interested in pushing Benson and his intolerable crap, or rubbish like Heroes in Christmas that is just offensive on multiple levels. I'll go over them actually. Firstly, of course, Wally West is a character who has a tremendously massive fan base. For years and years, he was the de facto Flask. Then Diddy Dido showed up, and him and John Jeffries had to bring back the boring Barry Allen version. And in doing so, also undid the only Barry Allen story people liked. His sacrifice in Christmas on Infinite Earths. Secondly, therapy. Cognitive behavioural therapy. That has helped a lot of people. It's not all about you, Tom Queen. Maybe you should write a fucking superhero story that people can look to for hope, to help them cope and deal with issues, rather than writing a fucking 9-part diatribe about how CBT didn't help you personally. You know what? CBT didn't help me at all. I had CBT for about a year, and I'm still as manically depressed as I was before, but I have made 220 videos, and never once have I preached about how CBT is a load of shit, because it didn't help me, but it works for other people. Thirdly, there's an advert there for a series that absolutely nobody read. Thirdly, Tom Queen, he uses PTSD as a catch-all excuse to make Wally into a serial killer and a properly evil person. And that's just massively offensive. It's offensive to anyone who suffers from PTSD. It happens all the time in comics with these pretentious tryhards like Tom Queen. They'll just use mental health issues as an excuse or a motivation to have characters do shit like that. And finally, there's the lecturing, not just about therapy or mental health. All the while, Tom Queen, he has been doing this, he has been acknowledging the concept of hope. Now, hope means a lot to me. Hope is generally what helps me deal with my manic depression. In DC Rebirth, Wally West returned to life after Diddy Dido had retconned him out of existence with the New 52. And they will constantly refer to Wally as being Hope. It was really on the nose stuff, but in Heroes in Christmas, Tom Queen has Wally repeatedly reject the idea that he represents hope and that anyone who thinks that he does is just stupid and should fuck off and should stop projecting onto him. I'll speak of the devil. Look, fucking Heroes in Christmas. There's our murderer there. But the real murderers are Tom Queen and Dan Diddy Dido, who have killed DC Comics. By the way, this is a good comic that I haven't talked about at all. I rate it 7 thumbs up.